Hello, lovebugs, and welcome back or welcome to your new favorite show, Dear X One Last Thing. If this is the first episode you're ever tuning into, welcome. I do want to suggest that you listen to another episode first because this one is going to be quite chaotic. I am going to be completely upfront with you guys. I'm in the process of moving, and for anyone, moving is always stressful. It's always kind of like feeling like everything's going a million miles an hour, but also not going fast enough, but also you're leaving things behind. But also, what are you supposed to do with this? And how can I get started in this room? And how did I get so many things? And I don't have enough boxes. It's just a uniquely stressful experience. So I'm in the process of moving. I realized today, holy shit, it's Thursday. I haven't filmed an episode. I haven't written an episode. So I most certainly haven't recorded an episode either. So if you're listening to this on Thursday, I'm sorry it's getting out to you late. I also am sorry that this episode is, it was important to me not only to be able to give new material to listeners, but it was important for myself to remain consistent in the face of different life circumstances and know that it is something that I could pull off last minute and know that it's something I want to pull off last minute because this show really does mean that much to me. And yeah, I didn't want to skip out, but I do want to say for the next couple coming weeks, it maybe is not going to be the most put together production. Even today, like if you're watching this visually, oh my God, I just thought about that. If you're watching this visually, I have no words. I'm looking at myself in the monitor. I put on this kind of like red correcting lotion all over my face as like a natural skincare makeup foundation. In the monitor though, I feel like it just kind of makes me look a little like yellowish green. I feel like I look a little sickly, like my liver isn't working. We have my hair up because I'm going to a basketball game tonight and I wanted to let it get into full effect. So we have this kind of little like retro look going. I have mascara on and that's it. So this is probably the most raw you will be seeing me, hopefully, ever. Unless you become my lover. I don't know what possessed me to want to say that, but we're just having fun. We are just having fun. Just a fun little candid, chaotic time. Anyways, we can jump into today's episode, our little short moving special. I do also want to say I have no idea what the setup will look like in the coming weeks. And I ask that you bear with me during this time in my life. I am a human being with life changes after all. Just a girl in her 20s trying to make everything happen at once, trying to make all her dreams come true, all of it. Anyways, we could go ahead and get started in today's episode. Today's episode is to an ex-partner. The girl writing it in is currently 16, and you know what I say? Be kind, especially to 16-year-olds, especially to girl 16-year-olds. You're going through a lot of emotion. All of your love feels the most intense it's ever felt. And I know as adults, and I feel myself even thinking this currently of like, oh, 16-year-olds, you don't know what love is. But it's easy to say to 15, 16 high schoolers, you don't know what love is. Even to 18-year-olds, you don't know what love is. You don't know what real life is like. You don't know what a real relationship is like. And I don't think that's true. I think that when I was 16, I was very much in love. And I don't think it was real love in the ways that I know it to be now or want it to be now. But I think that only comes from having stronger boundaries and a better sense of self and more self-respect and love. But what I felt for the other person that I loved when I was 16 was definitely love, just in a more sacrificial way. I don't think that takes away from the fact that it was this truly intense feeling of desire and care and longing for somebody. So yeah, be kind, be understanding, judge it like you're also 16, you know, don't look at it now with all of the things you know about life past being 16. You know, that's not fair. You need to think of it like you have the same life experience as a 16-year-old, okay? She's writing in because she said that he abused her big heart. I think we need to be a little stricter about certain words, so I'm going to say take advantage of her big heart and use his drinking problems and other issues to make her stay. Our sender met their ex-partner when she was 15. They met through mutual friends, through her best friend. And her first impression of this man was that he was a gentleman. He was compassionate. But in our background, we learn he was a little bit different. I'm going to read you the background exactly as she wrote it, and we can try and make sense of it together. But she said, we're going to call him R. R dated my best friend, and I caught her cheating, and I don't like cheaters. So after they broke up, I told him to stop wasting his time because he would contact me asking about her and then would ask what I was referring to. So finally I told him the truth. And he would get drunk a lot, a lot. So me being the person I am, I wanted to help him. Basically, I talked to him and talked him through some of his issues, and eventually he had said that through the course of that, he had fallen for me and wanted to give us a try. And I'm not going to lie, I wanted to, but of course had to ask my best friend first. She had said it was fine, so me and him began to date. Basically, a month into us dating, he cheated on me with his ex. Mind you, some background information, he was really nice to my best friend. I'm talking never a cheater, and that's what drew me to him in the first place. He was a real gentleman type. Anyways, we had gotten into an argument, and he had said he did it while we were falling asleep on the phone together and sent his ex explicit pictures. Then the next day, he came into my work with flowers to try and apologize. After the fact, we ended up staying together for another month, but in this month, he told me that he needed space because we just weren't working out. And I said, okay, that's fine, because I genuinely liked him. But then he told me that I wasn't good enough because he was still obsessed with my best friend. Then we broke up. I finally got into a healthy relationship, the one that I'm in now. And he keeps reaching out saying I was the right person, but at the wrong time. But frankly, I'm done, because when I was with him, I felt like I had a family. Because when I was with him, his family, his sister, his whole friend group, they became my friend group. They became like my family. But then he tried to make me turn on my best friend in the process of getting close with them. But me and my best friends are friends again, and I couldn't be happier. My thoughts. Sounds like a 16-year-old life. Like, when I was 16, everything was chaotic a bit. Like this episode, there was always kind of drama. There was always relationships that were, falling apart and coming back together and falling apart, and best friends that were friends again and weren't friends again. But if we just look at the themes of the relationship and apply it to any age or any dynamics we see within any age groups, what it sounds like to me is, this girl wanted to help someone, and when you care about someone in any sense and want to help them, it is easy to start caring about them in a romantic way because you see a completely different side of them. And I think also when you're young and it's a boy-girl relationship, it's hard to distinguish when you guys should just remain friends and when it should be more than that, especially on his side of things. If you feel like there's this girl in your corner that really cares about you and hears you and listens to you maybe in a way that other people don't, it's very easy to start having feelings that are beyond platonic. But ultimately, he didn't sound ready to be in a new relationship, and it isn't fair with him to kind of toy with her time and decide, oh, I'm ready now or I'm not ready now. And it seems like he maybe just needs to take some space for himself and heal things and not lean on others to heal those things. Like, lean on others for community, for company, for a listening ear, but not to take away that pain. You kind of, the only way out is through, right? Also on her end, I can understand how it would be very hurtful, and I think might make me personally insecure if I saw this guy in another relationship and he was kind of this great guy, and then we get into a relationship and the relationship is deeply flawed, and he cheats on me, and then he says he's just not like into me enough and he can't get over his ex and he's still thinking about her. Like, it'd make me feel like a placeholder. It'd make me feel not important. That isn't someone I'd want to circle back to. So I know she said she's in a relationship now. If she falls out of that relationship, I don't think this is the guy she should circle back to. I think she should leave both of them in the past. Just my opinion. Obviously, this background isn't as detailed as some of the other stories that we've gotten. So just doing the best we can with the information that we have. But ultimately, this podcast is of course for the listeners. It's of course, a great creative outlet for me, but ultimately it's for the senders and it's for their healing journey, and it's to help them move on from something in their life and to really see things on paper and be able to really see the whole situation for what it is, walk through the memories, be able to let them go, be able to get last things off their chest, be able to see things for what they are, see people for who they are. And if that's all that it does, then I've reached my purpose, it's all worth it. Her letter to R is very short, and I hope with time her feelings around this relationship do soften up. I think they absolutely will. Even my worst, terrible, heart-wrenching relationships with terrible, terrible boys when I was 16, my heart has softened up and I've been able to look at it through a more empathetic lens, which doesn't excuse anything they did, but I'm able to judge the whole situation less harshly and take it to heart less. So I hope with time the same thing happens for her, but you have to go through the full range of emotions. And I do think anger is a healthy emotion. It shows that you care about yourself enough to judge when you've been disrespected or taken advantage of, and it shows a deep care for yourself, and it shows that you want to protect yourself and keep yourself safe. And I think if you just go straight from being hurt to forgiving without jumping that, it might feel like the healthier thing to do, but being someone that did that from experience, I know that it just shows a lack of boundaries and maybe understanding of your self-worth. So with all that said, let's jump into it. She says, "Dear R, you were low-key a piece of shit. You made me genuinely hate myself, and now that I'm allowed to express myself outside of our relationship because we're over for completely good, you were nothing but a spitting image of your father. I hope you know. I'm glad I got away when I did, and I genuinely felt hopeless, like it's all worth nothing. But now I'm glad I met someone who shows me what real love is." Mic drop. She says you're a spitting image of your father. I don't know what the beef is there, but I know that line probably cuts deep. If R ever hears this, I know you're young, and it's not for me to say whether you're in the right or in the wrong, or a bad person, a good person. Honestly, you might be too young to tell, but I hope that you heal, and whatever wounds you have that cause you to drink so early, I hope that heals, and I'm sorry for whatever pain that you've gone through that's caused you to inflict pain on others. Be gentle with yourself. Know you're young. Know you have so much time to be better and to live the life that you want with the people you want and become the person you want. With so much love to both you. If you've been listening for a long time, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I gotta go. I gotta get ready. I gotta pack. I gotta do a million things. I'm glad I was able to fit this little episode in today. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I love you so much. Until next time.